welcome to a new episode of Review. Today we will take a close look at an Airbus A320-200 from Eurowings in a very special livery. What livery that could be, we can of course already see a few hints on here at the front side of the box, where we also have the Eurowings branding and of course the cutout, so we can get a glimpse of the aircraft inside. On the back side of the box we then get more hints to the livery, as we don't have an image of the aircraft but simply these two mascots of the amusement park Europa Park. And of course that says it all. This livery is of course about the Europa Park amusement park. And here she is, the Airbus A320-200 from Eurowings in this very special livery of the Europa Park. Now this aircraft used to belong to Air Berlin, was then repainted into this livery when Air Berlin started flying on behalf of Eurowings, and has since been moved fully over into the Eurowings fleet. Now, with no further ado, let's take a closer look at some of the details this aircraft has to offer. As always, we start off with the tail section of the aircraft. Here we can see on the vertical stabilizer, again, one of these mascots, which we then find the second of on the fuselage, where we also have the full registration code of the aircraft and the German flag. If we then move from the back of the aircraft all the way to the front of the aircraft, we can see along the fuselage the writing of Eurowings and Europa Park. Underneath the cockpit windows, we then have the Eurowings branding, which I think looks really fantastic in this white on this blue background. The cockpit windows themselves are also rather decently detailed. We do also have the window wipers printed on, although they are very difficult to make out here. The engine nacelles have been given a decent amount of detailing, and of course this dark blue color, just like the rest of the fuselage. On the fuselage we then find the emergency exits printed on. The markings for those we can see here on the top side of the wings, which have been given a really nice amount of detailing, where we have all the different flaps, slats and spoilers carved out very nicely. Falling through a little bit here are actually the wings on the underside. I think they are not nearly detailed enough, and the details we have are just a little bit too vague. But there is another detail on the wings I'd like to highlight. The wing tips, they haven't just been given the dark blue color of the livery, but also a nice little detail here, the yellow star matching with the livery on the fuselage. A detail that I really don't like, unfortunately, is the belly. Here we would have the Eurowings branding, which unfortunately has been ruined by a hole in the fuselage for a stand, which is not included with this aircraft model. And then last but not least, we do also have the doors to the cargo compartments printed on here in the back side of the aircraft. Perhaps a little bit difficult to make out because of the dark coloring of the livery. But also here at the front side of the aircraft we have the doors, which are, I think, a little bit easier to spot. So there we have it, the Airbus A320-200 of Eurowings in the special Europa Park livery. This aircraft model was released in 2018. And I had it pretty much from day one, but I haven't released this aircraft review until today. For one good reason. It has a problem. The very first batch of this production from Herpa Wings was released with a front landing gear that was too big. It's slightly too large. It's really not by much, but it does make the aircraft tilt slightly upwards in the front. Now I guess the irony is that I fully knew that the aircraft had this fault, but I purchased it anyway because I wanted to make a review as quickly as possible of this aircraft model. In the end, the fault was then so annoying that I ended up basically delaying this review by a year. But I think the important point of this is that the aircraft model itself is actually really nice. The print quality is excellent, and also the physical details on this aircraft model are really good. But if you want to buy this aircraft model, be sure to check the front landing gear, because all the productions after the very first batch have been fixed and the landing gear is alright. It's just this very first series that has this issue with the front landing gear, so do be sure to check it out before you buy it. Now with that, we've reached the end of today's episode. If you have enjoyed this video, then do feel free to leave a like. That would really help out this video and the channel, of course. If you're new around here, why not hit subscribe? That would be absolutely awesome, and you won't miss out on any future videos here on the channel. Now with that, I'd like to say thank you very much for watching. Hope to see you soon again. I'm checking out, and bye.